Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto cookie recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make quick and easy keto butterscotch gingerbread cookies. These are super easy, quick, and delicious. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos, at least every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Line 2 large baking sheets with parchment paper or silicone mats, then set them aside for a minute. In a large mixer bowl, place 3/4 cup of very soft room temperature butter. You do not want this melted, you just want it to be very soft so that it mixes smoothly. Beat the butter on low for about 10 seconds or just until it starts breaking up a little bit. Then increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for 1 minute until the butter is completely smooth. Now, if you don't have a standing mixer, you can use a hand mixer or a wooden spoon. If you're using a wooden spoon, it's going to take a little bit more effort, but it can still be done just fine. You just want to make sure that your butter is completely smooth. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the butter to the center of the bowl. Add 2 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in smoothly. And 8 grams or around 2 teaspoons of maple or vanilla extract. You can adjust the extract more or less depending on how much of a maple or vanilla hint you want in your cookies. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just until the eggs start breaking up a little bit. Then increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for about 30 to 45 seconds or until everything is fully combined. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the mixture to the center of the bowl. Sift in 128 grams or around 2/3 cup of the brown sugar sweetener of your choice. I'm using brown monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever brown sugar sweetener you want. You can also adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your cookies. Now, if you like a more crisp cookie, then instead of doing all brown sugar sweetener, you can do half of it brown sugar sweetener and half of it granulated sweetener, and that'll give you a more crisp cookie once your cookie cools. I like my cookie to be firm but not super crunchy, so I just do it strictly all brown sweetener. Add 10 grams or around 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, and a half teaspoon of ground nutmeg. You can change or adjust these spices according to your personal taste. Sift the dry ingredients all together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps. Then beat on low for about 10 seconds or just until the dry ingredients get moist. Then increase your speed to medium and beat on medium for another 30 to 45 seconds or until everything is fully combined. And again, scrape down the sides of the bowl and push everything to the center of the bowl. Then sift in 112 grams or about 1 cup of coconut flour until there are no lumps. Then beat on low again for another 10 seconds, then on medium for about 45 seconds to 1 minute or until everything is fully combined and you have a smooth, firm dough that's formed. And again, scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the dough to the center of the bowl. Then form the dough into a ball. Massage the dough ball in your hands for just about 20 to 30 seconds. You just want to make sure you have the right texture. This is going to be a thick, firm dough. It should still have a little bit of moisture in it, but for the most part, it's going to be a very firm dough. But as you are massaging it, it should not be feeling dry. Pieces of the dough should not be flaking off. It should be coming together and holding its shape really well. If it does seem like it's a little bit dry and like it's not holding its shape, then you can add very small amounts of room temperature milk until the dough comes together well. After you've massaged the dough and you have the right texture, form it back into a ball and place it back into your mixer bowl. Then use a wooden spoon and break the ball up just a little bit. Gradually add in 170 grams or around 1 cup of the Keto Butterscotch chips of your choice. Fold them in until they're evenly distributed. Make sure you just gradually do this in small amounts. This is a more thick dough, so it can be a little bit harder to fold in the butterscotch chips, so you want to make sure you just gradually, in small amounts, add them so that they can be evenly distributed throughout the dough and not just all in one big clump. Once you've added all the butterscotch chips, scoop the dough out 1 tablespoon at a time and put it onto your prepared baking sheets. Then roll each dough scoop into a tight, smooth ball and place them back onto your baking sheet about 2 inches apart. You're going to need some space for when you shape the dough balls. Once the dough scoops have all been rolled into tight balls, then use your hand or the back of a measuring cup and press the dough balls out to a disc shape of your desired size and thickness. You can press these out to however thick you want them. Some people I know like thick cookies, other people like thinner cookies. I like them somewhere in the middle, so I just press them out to my desired thickness. Now keep in mind that the thinner your cookie is pressed out, the more crisp your cookie is going to be once it's cooled. So if you're one of those who likes a crunchy, crispy cookie, then you would press it out pretty thin. But if you're like me and you like your cookies firm with a little bit of a crisp to them, but still have a little bit of a soft center a little bit, then I press mine out to probably roughly around a 1/4 inch thick, somewhere around in there. Also, when you are pressing these out, make sure you keep a little bit of space between each one of the cookies. Coconut flour baked goods don't really rise very much or spread out very much, but these do puff up just a little bit. So you do want to make sure that there's about 1 inch or so of space in between each one of the cookies so that they have room to puff up just a little bit and so you can get a nice even cook around the entire cookie. Once the cookies are all pressed out and shaped, place them into your preheated oven. Bake at 375 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes or until the cookies are lightly golden. Now, if you've pressed your cookies out to a more thin cookie, then you might want to check them at about 6 minutes. These can go from lightly golden to burnt edges pretty quick, especially if you've pressed them out thin, so make sure you keep an eye on them really well. You're just looking for them to have just a little bit of a light golden hint to them. Once your cookies are all baked, remove them from the oven, then allow them to cool on the pan for at least 10 minutes so they can continue to cook and firm up a bit. After about 10 minutes and the cookies have firmed up, transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before serving them. Once the cookies are cooled completely, place them on the serving platter of your choice. You can eat them immediately. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 1 week. Or you can store them in a freezer-safe container and freeze them for up to 3 months. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.